Greetings, YouTube. Surely, as I'm recording this, the banquet crystal amount, specifically the greater banquet crystal amount, which remember, for a long time, you could only get these if you gifted somebody. And there were so many scams, especially of these like poor kids, that somebody on Global would say, hey, anybody want to trade a greater gifting crystal, a GGC? And you'd say, yeah, sure. And then you'd exchange. You'd add each other as a friend in game, and whoever went first, the person would just block them and never trade them. And that's why I always tell people, even though the system is way better now because you can go straight to your own unit stash and not depend on somebody else to trade with you, it is important to mainly stick to gifting anyone that you are friends with or alliance mates with and keeping that window extremely small. Unfortunately, I have to say this every year, I'm a very giving person, especially with my time. This is where like randos come out of the woodwork and say, hey, Prof, I watch your YouTube channel. You should give me 1,500 units worth of crystals for watching your YouTube channel. And my thinking is always, I appreciate the support, but that's extortion. And I will not spend my holidays talking about anything that's either extortion or blackmail based. Call me old-fashioned, but that's just not my cup of tea. Now, the drop rates for these are really fascinating. Some of them make no sense to me. The 4,000 6-star shards and even the 750 7-star shards is just crazy. Now, the Tier 3 Alpha Catalyst, Daily Valiant Crystal, 6%. These, 1.5. Again, for Valiant players, some of these are like really disappointing compared to free crystals you get twice a day. I got the 6-star Awakening Gem Crystal, which is a 1.5% drop rate. First time I've gotten that. Doesn't feel, given that you can get that in most side quests every month for free, doesn't feel like that's worth it at all. I got the 6-star 6-stone crystals. I've seen people get the generic Awakening Gem. Again, you can get that for free every month in the side quest. I've got so many of those. I've really got too many. 6-star Nexus Hero Crystal I've only gotten from the claimed rewards. These are drop rates that make perfect sense if you are even Cavalier, Thronebreaker perhaps. But if you're Paragon or Valiant, these are the milestones that you just think, man, this is the one event a year that just feels like it is crazy to give these drop rates to Conqueror players as much as the top 2 progression. I'm not trying to say I'm against lower progressions. I'm thankful you all can open these, but it almost feels like this is the time where there are so many progression-based titles now in the game, way more than there used to be, that you almost need 2 levels of these crystals, and maybe it's the same crystal. Maybe you just give Paragon players and Valiant players a little bit better drop rates for the top items than 0.06% and 1.5% or 1%. The Tier 4 Alpha Catalyst fragments, and who knows how few those are, having a 1% drop rate for people who are desperate enough to become Valiant because let's say they completed a Path of Necropolis and need one more rank 3 7-star, you're not going to get that from these crystals. And that is very frustrating. But I understand. But that's also why Kabam wants to motivate those players that want to spend way too much money to get their next rank 3 7-star or perhaps open more 7-star crystals and other things. These, make no mistake about it, are the most valuable items in the game right now. Generic rank 2 to rank 3, 7-star rank up gems. This rank 1 will go for, if history shows, at least $50,000, but it could be in certain years $100,000 worth of greater banquet crystal purchases. That is insane. That is not worth it. You will get this Master of the Ceremonies 2023 title, of which I guess you can brag to everybody that you spent as much as a house is worth in Oklahoma for a mobile game. You can't control whether or not it even has servers that continue to run if Kabam chooses to close its doors. So, as always, gamble responsibly because you will not see back any, and I mean any, of the items you have in this game or the money you've spent once Kabam closes its doors. Can't tell you how many people we've seen from Realm of Champions and Transformers Forged to Fight and other games that Kabam closed in the last few years that they wanted something for their account and all that time, and they got memories. They got YouTube videos if you submitted something to me, but that's it. So rank 1, rank 2, basically any spot that gives you these 2 rank up gems, and that means the first 3 will get 2, 4 through 30 will get 1. This is still incredibly valuable. And then the 31 to 60 get the rank up gem crystal, the same one we get from Necropolis. Again, the top 60 may be the minimum for some people. Starts to drop off after that, but you do still get the rank up gem crystal from 2 to 3 to 90. The big question is, when does this stop? And it appears that rank 90 is the last rank. So whoever gets a 91 is going to be so mad, and rightfully so. So these are the solos. And yes, if you're me, you're just thinking, okay, the top percentages. And it's, by the way, it's 1. It's not 1 to 5. It's 1, then 2 to 3, then 4 to 5. So they have made the placements a whole lot different to encourage more spending. 1,000 7-star shards for 4 to 5 is so bad. I mean, this is, I guess, the most valuable could be the 5-star relic crystals. That's not exciting, right? Even the rank up gem is a 3 to 4 instead of a 5. For the top 4 to 5% of gifting, that's just so bad. And then 6 to 10 really feels like it's for past years more than it is this year. I'm really could not be more disappointed with everything after that ranking. Now, the Alliance ranks are its own cup of tea, and my Alliance is just flying through these milestones. Now, of course, the Tier 4 Alpha Catalyst is what so many people are after, but you compare this to the solo milestones, and it's kind of a joke. Especially because if you look at the rank up milestones, it's just not worth it at all. Now, there still will be alliances that care, but usually they're at least comparable. These are not. This is like great rewards from 2021, and the solos look like great rewards from 2024. Literally 3 years apart in how good they are. So we need to talk about responsibility in this event. Because even a 5-star? I don't care if it's 76 to 100. I guess that's for people who are in Conqueror alliances, but it just feels like a weird slap in the face to me. Call me Mr. Negative. Wouldn't be the first time, won't certainly be the last. But if you look at the top ranked rewards for solo versus alliance, it's kind of sad, honestly. It's kind of sad. So I am very thankful to have so many people supporting my channel for a 6th straight year on YouTube. I will be spending about 8,000 units worth of units to open Greater Banquet Crystals. From what I've opened so far, they're a fairly okay value, but still disappointing compared to what I get for free as a Valiant player. And yes, I know a lot of people watching this aren't yet, but this is where the discussion again comes in. Should there be better drop rates for the top 2 progressions, even if you don't change the crystal? I think so. Make it the difference between even a Cavalier and Paragon crystal, if you will, or a Paragon and a Valiant crystal, even though we won't see Valiant crystals for a long time. Either way, what do you think of these rank rewards? What's the price that you think someone is willing to pay or spend to get that top solo reward? I'm going to say, given past history, 6 figures. Hope I'm wrong. Hope it goes for less. But Kabam obviously hopes it goes for more. Either way, it's not worth that at all. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.